Alright, what's going on, y'all? So we're gonna do our test hand video as mentioned in the previous video. Again, this is for our cheap Swordsoul deck, and let's just jump right into it. So we'll do some going first hands, and we'll do some going second hands as well. So thankfully, Edo Pro has an automatic shuffler, and this is already a pretty good starting hand. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go for the emergency teleport here. This is to bait out an Ash. If we bait out the Ash here, we are very good because we have normal summon Mo Yi, and we also have Vishutta lines. So let's go for Side Reflector in the meanwhile. Now I actually kind of misplayed here, but it actually still kind of works out. So we'll actually go for the Assault Mode line, just grab the Assault Beast, and we'll pitch the Assault Beast and then go for an Assault Mode activate. Then we will reveal and go for the Assault Beast Reborn, and simply just increase this level by 3, and we have our Assault Mode Stardust live. So that's really strong. Now let's go for the normal summon of the Mo Yi. So now we know that the Ash Blossom is available for us. If the Ash Blossom is available for us, it actually still is okay, because we'll still have the Assault Mode activate, and we have Vessel for the Dragon Cycle and the Sacred Summit for the Crackback, because we can leave a token on the field. So let's go for the Vishutta here. And now we're actually going to activate Vessel for the Dragon Cycle in order to get some stuff from deck to hand. So we're going to send Shtana into the graveyard, and then we're going to add from our deck to our hand. We're going to add a copy of, probably we're going to go for the, Ashuna here, just that we can have plays going next turn, just in case. So now we'll go for the typical Swordsoul line, which is Chishao into the effect. So we'll activate, and we will activate this as well. We'll draw a card. Okay, so we got an Adhara. We don't have a spell in grave, so I'm actually going to go for the emergence here. We're going to have to that hand. Now we know we're definitely safe from Ash Blossoms because they would have absolutely used it on the Mo Yi at that point. We're going to go for the long one here in order to grab that to hand. And pitch, probably could be anything. Let's pitch the Vishutta so that we can have plays. Vishutta in grave is usually good. It's the whole engine. And we'll go for the Qixing Long Wan. We'll get the burn, and that is time in the round. Now we don't really have any other plays with that, so I'll show you how it works afterwards. So we'll end turn here. The opponent's gonna draw, and we're just gonna simply chain Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, bring the bad boy out, and now we have stuff live, right? So this is what the end board is going to be, because as soon as your opponent draws the card, that's exactly what this end board is going to be. So that's pretty much this for that test hand. We end on a banish, double banish for a spell. So like Adventurer, dead. Salamine Great, they activate Will, that's dead. For Cyberdarks, also dead, but that no one plays Cyberdarks. And then any type of special summon. So if they special summon, like Aluber or Mirror Jade, you can banish it. Even though you'll lose the field and stuff, you still have plays in your hand, right? You have Sacred Summon, for example, and you can go Chishao, negate, so on and so forth. And obviously, this is an Omni negate. So this is actually a pretty good hand. So we'll go for another test hand here. Right, so what I messed up last time is that I actually had a play to go into Draco Berserker, but I messed up. So what I was supposed to actually do is you need to get the Tenyis out of your hand first. So let's get the Tenyi out of our hand, and we'll link the bad boy off into the Monk of the Tenyi. Now, we actually don't want to use the Tenyis yet. So this is the trick with this deck, is you need to make sure you don't lock yourself into worms before you get your assault modes. Sometimes you can't get your assault modes and you just use Side Reflector as a level 1 tuner, which is fine. You go into Draco Berserker, you can go into, well actually that's about it, but that's still a really good card. So we're actually going to normal summon the Side Reflector. Now this also is going to bait, so this is going to bait an Imperm, this is going to bait a Effect Village, this is going to bait an Ash Blossom. And that's okay, because all we need to do is, now that we have Monk of the Tenyi on the field, Ashana can banish, summon Vishutta, and then boom, you can go into Chishao that way. In fact, that actually might be what we do here. We'll pitch, and we're actually we can actually reborn here. And we're gonna bring back the Assault Beast. So actually, I think this is a crazy play. Hold on, let me think about this. So if we leave this as a level 4, oh, I can't increase its level. I can't not increase its level. Crap. Alright, we'll increase its level by 3 no matter what. Or you can at least go into other stuff. See, I didn't want to increase its level because we could have went into Qishao and go that, but apparently you have to increase the level. Let's see. So we don't have a water engrave yet. What we can do is we can, well, all of our level 10s are kind of out. So we need to actually go into Stardust Dragon right now. So we'll go into Stardust, that's fine, and we can't really do anything there, but we can do this. Activate Pitch, and we'll go into Qi Xing Longwan right here. And actually, okay, so this is actually just fine. So we burn, and now we have the Reborn in hand, Reborn the Taya. And activate the Taya, we'll probably banish the Longwan so we can have the Spell Engrave for next turn. Get a token out, and we go into Qishao from this point. Now we'll go, this is actually weird on the chain link. So we'll definitely go chain link 1, Qishao. Chain link 2, Qi Xing Longwan. We'll probably go chain link 3, Taya. Taya is gonna send Shtana to the grave, and we're gonna draw an Assault Sniper. That's okay. And we'll probably grab the Blackout at this point. So we'll add that card to our hand. Right, so we can set the Blackout here. We can set this. And realistically, if you wanted to, we can banish and go into a Shaman line. The Shaman line can reborn. Ooh, the Shaman line, actually, if I thought about that, we could have gone into a Moyi line and get a Draco Berserker, the Tenyi. But I think it's okay to keep the Shaman out for now. We've got a pretty good board here. So again, just to show, we'll end the turn, and what we'll do is we'll just immediately activate Assault Mode Activate. Don't chain anything else. This is all in the draw phase, by the way. And we end off with an Omni Negate, double banish, Monk of the Tenyi protected by Shtana Engrave, which means that we can use things like Adhara and Ashuna next turn. We got the Monster Negate, and if we need to, we can use Blackout. Blackout can actually trigger the Shtana automatically, so that's a way that we can pop and still keep our advantage. Let's do one more going first hand. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have a really good stuff. We've drawn the F. I'm gonna do another test hand. So like that. Okay, so this is actually kind of a little bit more of a suspect hand, but that's actually okay. So what we can actually do here is we can first pitch and just see. Maybe they ash this, maybe they called by this or something like that, but that's just fine. So here we'll pitch the Taya, go for the Qi Xing Long, go for that guy. And what we'll do here is we'll go for the Taya, banishing the Taya right now. That'll get us 2 tokens. We'll go for the Qi Xing Longwan right here. In this deck, you never want to really summon anything into the extra monster zone because you need that for the monks, obviously. From here, we can go into Qishao. We'll go Chainlink 1. Yeah, we'll go Chainlink 1, Qishao, Chainlink 2, Qi Xing Longwan, and because we've already normal summoned, we're actually gonna try to dump the Mo Yi here. The reason we're gonna try to dump the Mo Yi is because, okay, so yeah, so we'll grab the Blackout right now. So if we drew into a worm monster and we could get the monster reborn and then reveal the worm monster and then go for Draco Berserker. But Imperm and Blackout is pretty good. And we can just normal summon this and go into, we can normal summon this and actually just go into our full combo right there, for that matter. We can normal summon And we already have the assault mode activated in hand, so we can just reveal and special summon, make it a level 7, and then go into any of our monsters. We can go into Draco Berserker, we can go to Stardust Dragon, we actually go into Crimson Blader too, and that actually might be good on the crackback, because even if we don't win that turn, a lot of decks can't play through a Crimson Blader. Alright, so we'll go for a going second hand actually, right now. To do that, I'm actually going to side out a couple of cards, and by that, you're going to side out the entire assault mode engine. Going second, you put in all the cards that aren't assault mode stuff. So these cards right here, I would really only put in depending on what your opponent's playing. So if your opponent's playing Swordsoul or Branded Despia, you should probably put this guy in. If you guys playing anyone that has like towers or like really like Apollosa, for example, you side Radiant in. But otherwise, I think this is a pretty standard thing to side in. So we'll get rid of these guys. Alright, so this would be what the deck would look like going second. You could literally side in and it just becomes a completely different deck. It has background removal, monster negation, desires for grinding and whatnot. So let's go. Alright, so we have, this is actually pretty good. So we probably want to start off first with the Adhara. We go into Monk of the Tenyi. And from this point, you know, we can activate the Mystical Typhoon if they have like a field spell. A lot of decks have field spells at Ignister, for example. If they have a lot of decks have like just one really powerful back row. So if you're going up against Sword, so they probably have a blackout set. Just shotgun the blackout. They can't even activate it anyway because you need to target 2 monsters. And I guess at this point they could target the Monk of the Tenyi, but you could just do this first, so that's fine. If we wanted to, let's say they had an Appaloosa, for example, or Masquerade the Blazing Dragon, we can rip off we have that imperm off the top, just immediately activate it, and we can now make our plays without having to worry about losing in time. So let's go for the normal summon of the Moyi, and we reveal. And here we go for the Chi Xiao. And the reason why we're going for the Chi Xiao is because we're actually going to go for Chang Ying at this point. But we're going to need to extend pretty hard. So what I would personally do here is I go for the Emergence. The reason why I'm going to go for the Emergence is because I want to grab and get a spell card engraved just in case. So we grab the long one here. And because we're trying to break the board here, I'm actually going to get rid of the blackout. And go for that. So now we're going to go for the Chang Ying. Right here. And we'll burn a little bit. So this is not even considering what we could have done with like Yazi, for example, right? So we didn't have Taya, but if we did have Taya, we would have gone for a Yazi line, and Yazi would have been able to spin and pop one of our cards, or we can go, that's Yazi. Baxia would have been able to spin, and if we needed to, if we open up Taya, go for the Emergence, that gets Ash, whatever, normal summon the Taya, banish, go for Yazi. But if I thought a little bit more, we probably could have gone for the Baxia pop, but we didn't have anything engraved that was really worth it. So that's pretty much that. So we drew another imperm, so that's pretty good. And I wish we had some Adharas at this point. We can reborn one of our cards. We can reborn the Moye, just for some little bit more extra damage. Because now we can use Chi Xiao, negate something, banish, and then go from there. So this is actually how we can play through a lot with this deck. We'll do another going second hand. Right. Oh, so what a great rip. Okay, great. So we probably immediately shotgun Dark Ruler no more. Just get rid of every single monster negate. They have to take it out. Sometimes they'll take it out with the trap card, which is actually pretty fine. So we'll actually now go for the Ashuna line for the Monk of the Tenyi. And here we'll actually go for the Vishuddha. Crap. I don't want to do that. But actually that's fine. So now we can special summon the Adhara. And we actually force something out. So we can actually force out a negate with Vishuddha, right? So we can Vishuddha, they can bounce up into something. It's usually gonna force out a card at this point. So now what we can do is, before we Pot of Desires, I'm actually going to go for a Vashetta summon here, and this is going to give us our Chi-Chao. And we're going to search a card off of the Chi-Chao, and probably here at this point we're going to go for the Emergence. We're going to go for the Emergence, and we haven't normal summoned yet, so we actually have a backseat line. So we're going to normal summon. In fact, we actually have a Yazi line. So I'm going to banish the Emergence for demonstration purposes, but because this is just a simulator, I'm not going to do that right just yet. Because Yazi has to pop another card on field. But that's fine. So what we can do now is, now we have this guy out, we're going to banish this, go for the Ashuna right here. That's to keep it in our hand, because we're actually going to go for a Mo Yi line into Draco Berserker. So we'll go for the Yazi, we'll put him in attack position because we're going second. So here in this case, you can use Yazi to spin 2 cards, which is good. It's targeting spinning, but it's still spinning, which is pretty good. But we're not going to use it for this purpose, but we are going to trigger the Taya. And we're going to send Mo Yi to the graveyard. And what's good is that we've already pushed Vashetta, right? So it's not really useful to have the Monk of the Tenyi on the field anymore. It's just kind of sitting there. So we actually use the Baxia to pop, and we're going to summon back the Mo Yi. The Mo Yi is going to reveal the Ashuna that we had back at hand. The opponent doesn't need to know we have the Adhara. Summon this guy, and we'll simply just go in for a Draco Berserker the Tenyi. Draw a card. Wow. Okay, so now we're going to try to dig for a long one. We didn't get it, but we did get a Raigeki, which is really freaking good. If we get the Raigeki, we can pop a whole bunch of stuff, force out another negate, maybe they have a Dragite, so on and so forth. And if they have a Dragite, boom, banish with Draco Berserker the Tenyi, just clear the way. And this is this lethal? No, this is, actually this might be lethal, hold on. 28 plus 23 plus 3. Yeah, this is definitely lethal, I think. No, it's not. No, it is. Yeah, because that's 81 exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we actually have. So you can see we have quite a few options and whatnot to go for. Dark Ruler No More just would completely destroy the board, and then if we drew into any back row removal, we would have been fine in that regard. And I think to end it off, we'll just do one more going first hand just to see what happens. Right. So over here, we're actually going to do this again. So we're going to bait out a card. We're not going to summon one from the hand because cards in hand are good to discard for exactly so we can actually this is interesting. So believe it or not, I think the plays actually go to for an Assault Sniper because we normal summon off of the emergency teleport. But the reason is why, and I'll show you why. So we do this, we activate this effect to special summon, we tribute it, and we just summon back another Sire Reflector. It's fine, it doesn't really matter what it is. We actually could have summoned the Assault Beast there, but that's actually fine. So we reveal the Assault Mode activated, we drew for turn. Summon back the Assault Sniper, and here's why we could do that. We now activate its effect to change its attribute, revealing any card. We can reveal Changing, it doesn't matter. We'll just reveal Changing. And now this should be a Worm type. Because it's a Worm type, we can actually go into Chi-Chao. The Chi-Chao can allow us to get to an Emergence. Or directly we can just get to a long one, but I'm just doing this because we're in a vacuum. Set up the grave a little bit. So now we can activate, send the Taya, and summon out the token. So now we can pretty much simply just go for a Qixing long one. Get a burn. Now we don't have Assault Mode activated at the ready, but we still do have Sire Reflector, which we can use on the next turn and go into, again, a generic level 8. But we end on, even with the hand that like bricked, that pseudo brick, because we drew this, and this, we still were able to do it because of Assault Sniper. Now, we had to commit to a normal summon there, which is again not ideal, but the fact that we're able to do it just shows the versatility of this deck. Now, we can actually even go even further and actually make a Chow Fang. If we know our opponent is on light monsters, we can go into a Chow Fang. Actually, no, Chow Fang wouldn't do anything because that. But it's cool that we can do that just if we needed to do that for whatever reason. So we end on Blackout. We can spend the Chi-Shao early, then use Blackout, pop 2, and we got double banish of a special summon monster and a spell card on Qixing Langwan, which will burn the opponent for a lot. Right. So I think that's pretty much going to be it. As you can see, the deck is pretty consistent, even without the desires in the main deck going first, just because you can get to an Omni Negate with 6 cards exactly is quite good. And the Tenyis search each other and banish and search, and then the extra deck monsters search and banish and search. So it's really consistent and actually is really good. So I really like this deck again, and any other questions can be left down in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this 2-part series for this deck, and I hope to do more of these in the future. Thank you.